Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I just wanted to do a quick video on Google Earth. In the past week I was talking to someone on comments on some videos and they were referring to the Mercator map or a similar map being the actual map of the Earth rather than the A map that I look at usually. So I've basically spent this week going through Enoch and drawing up what I see when I read it. Not to say that what I'm thinking is right or anyone else is right or anyone's wrong or anything like that, but just because I'm looking for the truth like everyone else. Pardon me. But while I was doing all that, I got onto Google Earth and I've noticed a few things which I thought I'd bring up today. So one of the first things I wanted to say was about these mining lands, and this is the top of Siberia. Back of Russia, and as you can see I've got a triangle there, and that's 930 kilometres and that's 575 kilometres, and inside is just smothered with these what seems to be lakes all around, a few kilometres long each, some bigger some smaller, but they're everywhere. I think they might be mining wastelands because of the shapes of them. You know, that just doesn't seem like natural lakes to me. But this goes on up here, down here, all down there, all across there, and it goes on all the way down around Russia. All there. Keeps on going for thousands and thousands of miles. Yeah, and a couple of other things that I noticed as well. I was trying to look for Torah and I noticed these rectangles everywhere, and there's loads of them everywhere. They just go on for miles and miles and miles. But I thought they might be like lands of ruins or something of ancient times. So, excuse me. So I was, measured one, and they're roughly all rectangles, about that somewhat size. So they're about a kilometre long, about 250 metres wide. So 4 of them will be like a kilometre square. So you can think each one of them is a lot of trees, but they basically are tree harvesting, because when you go back through time you see all the rectangles there. If I go back last year, it's still about as many as there were. Year before, about the same. And you see there starts to go to be less. Oh no. So if I go back to say 2000. Right, so yeah, in 2000 you can see there's basically some there and just a few over the top there. Go to 1984, I can't really see. 1987, yeah, you can see they've just started there. And then in 2016 the whole land is done, and this is like, this goes on all up here, all around there. You can see it all up here, all down there, all down here, still happening. It goes on for miles and miles and miles. Same up here, if you look at it there, I'll go back to 2000. There's just a couple down here, and one there. That's 2001. And then it's 2006, you can see a couple more have appeared. 2011, quite a few. 2016, loads. So over the past few years, you know, amount of trees getting cut down has increased loads, and out of all that I didn't actually notice any towns or anything anywhere near any of this. So where the people are coming from to use these trees, and then where the trees are being sold to, I don't know. It's right in the middle of Russia. Some other things I noticed are these grid lines, and if you can see them there, there's also massive lines that come down through that are further distances apart, as you can see there and there. But these grid lines in particular, at first I thought it was just the camera setting up, but I don't think it is. You can see there's a starting point where they go. They come down to here, and then they go across there. You can see all the grid up here. And they go across, all across this way, all over the waters here to here. And then you can see like the shadows of the trees and the gaps and everything. Shadows of the trees are. And there, 7 metres. You can see the grid lines go up there. Get to that point, and then they go across. And they go on for miles and miles and miles to there, and then they go up. And they're all inside here. Still going up, you see them all up here. Across, and the length of that area from say 6 to 7 is 78 kilometres. That's 90 kilometres. So it must have been a lot of effort to put them there, and I thought maybe at first it was the camera, which I don't think now. And when you go back in time over them as well. So let's find a point that's good to see. And go back for a time, that's 2012, you can't really see them. 2013, you can kind of see them there. 2014, you can see them there a lot clearer. So let's try and find a bit clearer place that I can use. So here you can see this. Here you can see the squares. See the line there. So in 2014, you can't even see them there anymore. You can see some here, and it kind of stops there. 2013, you can't even see them there anymore. And yeah, nowhere in the past you can't see them at all. That's 1997, 2001, 2008, and that's just appeared. So 2015 there, 2016 there. So they've only appeared in the last couple of years as well. These are all like power stations, but I can't find any villages anywhere really. So, and it's power stations connected to more power stations, which I think is quite odd. But this one was glitching earlier. I don't know why it's not anymore now. You can see the grid lines. Grid lines and patches, yeah, so there's more grid lines over here. And these patches. But here you can see how they've started and not completed the lines as of yet. Same up there. And going back to 2013, you can't see them at all. 2014, no. 2015, they appear. Excuse me. So, yeah, it's just something that I noticed and I thought I'd bring up. And there's this other one here. No roads, VR roads. So there's a town next to the river, and it's not too small but not too big either. It's about 9 kilometres long and just over 1 kilometre wide. Don't look like there's many people there. If you look at, there's no main town centre, it's just houses. They've got an airport, but still there's no town centre or anything, no high buildings. And you know, they've got their trees and nice area around it, and you've got this road coming out here. It winds round. There's a building there. So that's the road, and then you've got this next to it, and this is quite wide. Somewhere down here you can see, it looks like there's telegraph poles, yeah, so it's a telegraph pole there, I think. It's about 12 metres high, 13 metres or so, and every so often you see them. Let's see, so there's, alright, you could earlier. So there's one there, one there, one there, one there, but it's quite wide. It's like 60 metres wide or something. $40 meters, 60 there. I think it was 60 meters wide. But this, what I was trying to get at anyway, was the right roads winding round at the best part of the train to do. But this, if you look at it, it kind of goes straight all the way down. Here it is, sorry, here's where you, and what I don't understand is, why weren't they built together? Why wasn't the road built here next to the power lines, or the power lines built alongside the road? Just seemed strange that the road was constructed to follow best route, but they were able to just plough straight through any terrain for that. I don't understand why that is. And yeah, it just does it down here as well. It seems like there's a lot more effort in going into cutting down the trees for this than there is for the roads. Wouldn't it have been easier to build power stations like nearby each city, rather than having them scattered in the middle of nowhere and then just having mass amounts of trees cut down just to provide to these little towns scattered everywhere? That's just my thoughts anyway. The other thing I wanted to say on this video is because as I was looking at everything, trying to work out how best the description Enoch gives of the earth fits, and I was looking at the Ring of Fire, which runs basically around all the way around the edge of South America. It's probably easier to see on Google Earth. I'll pick Ken Island, so I want to talk about that in a second. But as you can see, this like trench line that follows all the way around South Africa and then all the way around America. It also goes up around California and up around Alaska here, and then to Russia, and then round. And on the flat Earth map, that's not really much of a ring, as it is more like an arch or a flat line even. But I'll explain more about that when the time comes. But the thing I wanted to say just now was, if you look at lands like this here, where it's light blue and you can see that it's high ground, what I'm trying to propose is, before the flood, the Noah's flood, that this was all land, same as all these light blue bits here, that these would have been places we could stand. And down there, all these little bits would have been islands. And all that would have been land as well, I reckon. Same as around east coast of America. Is that America? Sorry, no, that's not America. That's China and Russia, South Korea. All this would have been land. And where's New Zealand? Yeah, here. So that would have all been above ground, above sea level. All that. And all this here. Maybe once upon a time that, you know, Terra Australis, now known as Antarctica, maybe people were landing on this and thinking that it's such a vast amount of land that it's all Australia and calling it Terra Australis, not realising that Antarctica is different, because you can see all this is light as well, as if it's high grounds, even up to here, so this could have even potentially been a part of Australia at one point. And then let's go around. Madagascar would have had more lands around it, islands. India would have been wider. And seeing as people tend to live on coastlines and stuff, you know, even if the flood didn't wipe every bit of land, which I personally think it did, but even if it didn't, you know, how many of the Indian countries back in the days before the flood would have been, Indian cities, sorry, how many of them would have been down this row here where the old coastline was? You know, that's just an example. But Pitcairn Islands, you know, there's Hawaii, it's in a remote place beyond the ring, but Pitcairn Islands is a bit more remote even. So Pitcairn, basically the closest thing, there's a few islands near it, but not many. I've lost it. Oh yeah, well I can see them. These here, massive, dodgy shaped things with lines going out everywhere. You can't see them on Google Earth Pro because they don't seem to get as much clarity in their pictures on there, and they're older. But these lines are everywhere, and they'll go to certain points. Let's go there to the bottom of Chile. These ones stretching out to these islands. Just wondering if these were footprints of buildings or something, vehicles, and these are tracks. I don't know though, it's just me thinking out loud. But looking for Pitcairn Island again. But see, all of these islands would have, all of these little mountain bits would have been islands as well that would have existed. There's French Polynesian, so Pitcairn is over here, yeah. And the reason I brought this up is because this little island here called Adamstown, which is actually got, I don't know how many people live there, but there's about 200 people that live here, and there's a thing there that if you wanted to, you could go and move here and live in Pitcairn Islands, and I think it's Adamstown. You can live here for free, get your own plot of land to build your own house on, you can live here. The only clauses with it though is that a ship only comes once every 3 months for deliveries from overseas, so you'd have to order all the stuff you want from abroad every 3 months, or have a way of getting there to get it yourself. But it looks like a really lovely place, gun shop. But it's like about 200 people that live here, so if you wanted, you could have free land here. And it just interested me, but it's one of the most remote places on Earth, and Pitcairn Islands, oops, I don't have a measuring tool here, I have to go back. But basically what I measured yesterday is French Polynesian Islands there, but it's about 5,000 kilometres from here to there, or there, to Peru or Argentina, Chile, 5,000 kilometres. Or if I went the other way to New Zealand, it was about 5,000 kilometres. Or if I went up to the Fiji Islands, it was also about 5,000 kilometres. So it is absolutely remote, wherever it went. So remote that it's so difficult to find. but I imagine it would be a lovely place to live as well. But you do have all these islands scattered everywhere, and there it is, it's down here. So, you know, there is the ability to go to any islands. Fiji there. But my point was that maybe the way this spread out is that what shall I explain in my next video with the description Enoch gives and the drawing I've made. But I'm going to be pushing that these are a bit closer up here to the Ring of Fire rather than being down here. They're either closer to New Zealand way, or they're closer to this way, but I don't know which, and I don't know for certain. I've still got to do a lot more research. But yeah, there's just so many things that you can look at on here. It's really interesting, and doesn't have much explanation as of yet, that needs people to see it and to look at it and work out what's going on, because we don't get told enough. You know, if we did, there wouldn't be people out looking for more. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say in this video, really. I'll get the next video done once I've got it all prepared. I don't know when that'll be, but I'll try and do it as soon as possible. Yeah, if anyone's got anything to say about that, then please feel free to say. And I hope you all enjoyed that. All the best. God bless.